What's up you guys, Nicolo Maserati here. So as many of you may or may not know, I've been a Canon user since day one. However, since Sony has released the Sony A7iii. Are you f***ing kidding me, Sony? I guess I'm left with no other choice. I'm switching to Sony. I've denied the temptation to use Sony for years now. I denied the A6500, the A7R III, but the A7iii, are you kidding me? 693 autofocus points, up to 4K with 6K oversampling. You get the autofocus that's in the Sony A9. And it's only $2,200. What the heck? There is literally no other camera on the market with these specifications at this price. Now, to be honest, I'm really disappointed in what Canon has been doing, especially in comparison to what Sony's been doing. One of the things that a ton of Canon users have been requesting from Canon is a 4K mirrorless camera. So Canon went and did that with the Canon M50. Now, this video isn't about comparing the Sony A7iii to the Canon M50. I totally understand that those are kind of for different markets. I understand that Canon has geared the M50 more towards people that maybe want to just do some vlogging, or maybe people just getting into filmmaking that want a fairly inexpensive camera that does 4K. But one of the main things that Canon is known for, and I will never deny this, they have the best autofocus system in the industry, hands down. But with the Canon M50, when you shoot in 4K, you lose their patented amazing dual pixel autofocus. So in my opinion lately, Canon has failed to innovate, and that's something that really irritates me. Now, I understand that they're trying to protect their cinema series cameras, but what about all the other consumers out there? To me, it seems like Sony cares a little bit more about the consumer that maybe can't afford a $13,000 camera. Sony doesn't hold back, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm switching from Canon to Sony. So for those of you that are curious, I'm going to give you some specs on the A7iii. So the A7iii has a 24 megapixel full frame sensor. It also has 15 stops of dynamic range, 5-axis optical in-body stabilization, 693 autofocus points. Also has this feature called eye autofocus, where you can focus right on someone's eye and it'll track their eye for perfect focus. Guess what else? It shoots full frame in 4K at 24 frames per second. If you watched my very first tutorial video on how to get that smooth cinematic slow motion while shooting at 30 frames per second, then you're going to be able to get nice smooth slow motion with 4K out of this camera. And to me, the price point is amazing. This camera is super underpriced. I'm gonna say that again. The A7iii is incredibly underpriced, especially when comparing it to the Canon 6D Mark II, which is what I'm using right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the 6D Mark II. I've been using this for a long time now, and there's a lot of things that I really love about it. Of course, the autofocus is great. The colors that come out of Canon cameras are great. Flip screen is cool, especially when I'm making these videos because I can see myself. But one of the things that I've wanted for the longest time is a camera that does 120 frames per second at full HD. And the only Canon camera that does that that's under $10,000 is the 1DX Mark II. The 1DX Mark II is an amazing camera, and I had wanted that camera for the longest time. But since the A7iii was announced, it's a no-brainer. So I've got a $2,000 camera that does 4K full frame at 24 frames per second, that can do 120 frames per second in full HD for $2,000, or I've got the 1DX Mark II that can do 120 frames at full HD, but it's $6,000. It's a no-brainer when you ask me. I feel like Sony has stepped up their game, especially when it comes to video. Canon is still great. There are a ton of amazing things about Canon camera, but I just can't deny the fact that Sony is truly innovative when it comes to their cameras, and they don't hold back to protect their other cameras. People that have been considering buying the A7R III are gonna be going to the A7iii. They wanna give a high quality camera that does all the things that we could want, for an affordable price. Guys, I want to hear your opinions, so leave them in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video and it was informative to you guys, hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.